Hello, good afternoon. Magandang hapon sa lahat. This is Justin Talk, News PX. Before anything else, before we start on our topic this afternoon, I would like to request you to subscribe and like and share this video and try to follow this video. You post your notification bell. Kung meron tayong another broadcast, you will be notified immediately. Ngayong hapon na to, we'll be talking about a topic, a recent topic that actually this morning, merong uh, live press conference yung NBI director na si, I think Jaime Santiago is the NBI director today. Na nagkaroon sila ng press conference with the mainstream media, and there are some questions na I would like to comment or to react with doon sa mga questions that were hurled to him, and his answer. Sometimes nag-iisip ako doon sa mga sagot niya, doon sa mga questions na tinatanong sa kanya ng mga mainstream media. One of the main question na I was medyo nakapag-isip ako, bakit lalo na yung isang question na statement niya, at the same time it was from a question, then he made a statement na parang hindi niya alam yung threat na natanggap ni BP Sara. He was not aware. The whole institution, the NBI, has no knowledge about the threats na natatanggap ni Inday. Where, in fact, it was stated publicly by BP Inday during her interviews that I don't think na one time lang. So if clearly an investigation institution and well-established institution na sa napakatagal na panahon, marami na ring achievements. And I don't think ngayon they don't have the capacity or the ability to make an investigation out of the statement of BP Inday that were broadcast in live TV. Ano yun? There was a time when BP Inday, after nag-resign siya as Deputy Secretary, she stated na kinikasing yung bahay niya by some persons na hindi identified. Nagpunta doon sa subdivision nila, kino-confront ng mga homeowner officers yung mga tao na yon, kaya gustong pupuntahan yung bahay, alamin yung bahay. So that's a casing kung sa mga pulis pa, kinikasing yung bahay mo, inaalam kung saan ka, paano ang galaw ng mga tao na sa loob, siguro yung mga anak mo, susundan, saan nagpupunta, ganyan ang casing. Is that not a threat? Tanong ko lang, hindi ba threat yun sa buhay ng BP natin? Oh. Hindi alam ng NBI yan? Kailangan pa ba na si mismong yung tao na tinitreat ang magsasabi sa inyo? Kasi sinasabi niya, para daw mapadali yung trabaho nila, kailangan si BP Inday magsasabi sa kanila. Ganun ba yun? And your mandate, sinasabi mo pa nga, to protect the President, the Vice President, and the Executive Secretary ang nasa mandate ninyo. So dapat, you should do your job. You do your job. It was included in your mandate to protect the Vice President. And it is clear na she had a threat. But until now, hindi nyo alam. Kailangan pa na si BP Inday magsasabi. And sabi nga ng director na they will start from nothing, or ganyan naman talaga dapat na mag-imbestiga. You start from nothing. You collect all the details, the facts, all the interviews. You, what you are saying na yung pag-build up mo ng case, you're building a case eh. Kailangan yung mga interviews with other people, TV clippings, mga clippings na yan, or any other information made by other persons before you can make a judgment or an investigative report that these things happen. Then you base that on these reports, on these facts that you gathered, that you have a probable cause to file a case against that person. So in case of BP Sara, you're saying na you need up to the end of this month. And you keep saying na meron na kayong mga you're mounting evidence or mga facts na hawak ninyo. Why don't you give it to the DOJ right now if you have already the conclusion? But sa side ni BP Sara, he was saying those things na sinabi pa nga niya na there was an attempt on his life. Paano niya sinabi na ginugurgol sana ako but they failed. With that statement, dapat action na ninyo. And you want BP Sara to go your office para to file a counter affidavit. Where in fact, hindi pa na-file yun sa DOJ. It's in DOJ na kung mayroong probable cause, doon na siya magbigay ng kanyang counter affidavit if ever there's a case na filed against her with regards to the threat. At saka, baka makalimutan natin kung anong sinabi ni Sarah. Kasi iba ang laro eh, iba ang play, iba ang script na gustong ipakita ng mainstream media. Na talagang blankly nagkaroon ng threat. Nagsalita si Sarah, BP Sara, ng directly na nagtitreat kay PBBM Lisa at kay Tambi. Where in fact, ang premise niya, kung papatayin siya, kung papatayin siya, meron siyang pinagbilinan. But hindi niya sinasabi na binili niya sa isang assassin. Meron siyang kinausap. Huwag kayong titigil hanggat hindi kayo makaganti. That's a conditional threat. And under daw sa Republic Act natin, with regards to grave threats, walang threat sa ganyang case. So I don't know kung saan sila, anong point ang gustong ipalabas ng director ng NBI. At marami daw sila, he judge daw siya and then police, and he can judge daw. You're not the judge. You're just making an investigation. So, whatever investigation you have to recommend it to the prosecutor's office of the DOJ. And the DOJ the prosecutor will have also to make a scrutiny on your report, in your investigation. It doesn't mean that your investigation sang-ayunan ng prosecutors kung tama. They will make a basis on that to establish probable cause to indict BP Inday with the case that you're going to file. So, ganyan ang mangyayari. So, meron kang sinasabi rin na parang hindi naman siguro you have no intention in doing that. But, in repeating and repeating it na dapat nagpunta siya rito para siya magpaliwanag. Kailangan ba? Is it necessary? No. Hindi ba sapat ang presence ng kanyang mga abogado? Is it required by law? No. Sabi mo, hindi naman required. But why are you repeating that? Parang tinitreat mo rin siya na hindi ka magpunta rito para magpaliwanag. Magpaliwanag. Mas maganda magpaliwanag rito personal. In what purpose? Propaganda purpose na naman. Na hindi naman yan kailangan. Kailangan lang abogado. Bakit kailangan ng presence niya? At you forgot nga you are summoning, sinusummon mo yung Vice President of the Philippines. At pangalawa, sinusummon mo yung tao na in the history of the Philippines garnered the highest votes from people, from citizens of this country. And you try, parang binubuli mo rin yung ang Vice President natin kung ganyan ang ginagawa mo. Yung first, press conference, yun ang sinasabi mo, paulit-ulit na dapat siya napunta dito. Oh. So, you want to, parang subjugation na kaya kong ipatawag yung Vice President. Oh. Pero, sa ng later ni Vice President Sara through his lawyer, hindi naman kayo ni-insulto. Oh. Tsaka yung sinasabi na, fuck yun, na sinasabi na under kayo sa administration ng DOJ. Hindi ba under kayo, DOJ? Then, kasama na yung ES natin, Executive Secretary. Under kayo doon. So, huwag kayong masaktan kung if you interpret that in another way, nasa inyo yun. But that's a fact. Then, sinabi din ninyo na we will conduct an impartial investigation, fair sa lahat. Sana magkatotoo yan. That's an ideal situation. Siguro ikaw, you have the good, the director is really honest and intention na talagang hindi maging bias to any other person, to any party. But sa iyo yun. Pwede submit mo yung honest investigation mo to the DOJ. Pwede natin masabing ganyan na it's really fair, justified yung mga investigation nyo. But we don't know, pagdating sa DOJ, iba naman ang idea nila. And you know, lahat na decision ng mga prosecutors, you cannot deny with what happened in the past, ang daming cases na gusto nating i-cite, you give the right opinion. But I don't know if they will agree with your investigation, your opinion. Yun ang problema. At saka, if you're going against your bosses, baka magkaroon sila ng maling impression with regards to you sa ginagawa mo. So, I don't know kung saan dyan ang preference mo. Gaano kabigat ba yung mga decision mo? Na whether you give an opinion against doon sa boss mo, doon sa secretary, or alam mo naman ang kahit nasabihin mo walang politika. Sa amin walang politika. We give the unbiased decision. Pero kaya mo bang magbigay ng investigation na it favors the other side? Kung kaya mo yan, di maganda. It favors the people. You are in the right track. You are in the right mode of giving justice. So ngayon, kung kaya mo yan, talagang commendable yan. But ang question, kung kaya mong suwayin yung secretary mo, yun din ang problema. And we don't know about that, kung gagawin mo ba yan o hindi. But, with regards to your secretary, si Secretary Remulla, hindi, marami ng mga cases na nakita na yung unfairness niya. So, hayaan mo kami mga tao na magkaroon ng maling impression dyan. And even, we have decided na talagang he will never favor VP Sara. Kaya nasabi ni VP Sara na prudent lang siya. Nag-ingat lang siya na to attend dyan. Dahil under kayo sa secretary that openly go against VP Sara in her pronouncements. So, hindi mo masisisi na yan ang sabihin niya. Ang ES natin, minsan merong statements na in favor of VP Sara, then biglang nagbabago din. So, merong influence. There is due influence from the top. Alam na natin kung sino nung nasa top. Oh, siguro si Lisa or si PBBM or si Speaker Romualdez. We don't know. But it is clear kung anong pinapakita nila. So, nagiging prudent lang si VP Sara in his decision na hindi siya, her decision not to attend, na it's only the her lawyer ang magbibigay ng statement dyan na sinang-ayon na naman niya by signing the letter. So, ganun yun. So, pasensya na lang na maging prudent si VP Sara. Di naman niya, sa totoo lang, di naman niya pagkatiwalaan si Boying. Anong, ang daming cases, itong mention 1, yung kay DJ Bantag, kay Tibis, yung case ng anak niya, anong nangyari doon? Kailangan pa ba natin i-recall yun? How can have you confidence sa mga ganyang klaseng tao? Then, alam naman natin ang influence ni Boying. Sino bang DILG secretary ngayon? Kapatid niya. Yung isang kapatid niya, nasa PAGCOR. Kung sabihin mo, that's not nepotism, ano yan? So, yung director, I know, ano naman siya parang ano siya, yung sincere na pagkatao. But there are situations na hindi mo ma-control hindi mo mahawakan. And with regards to this investigation, I know, deep in their hearts, na alam nila na walang kasalanan si BP Sara. But yun ang problema kung magpagamit kayo. Magpagamit sila. Pasisira na yung reputasyon ninyo. Being an honest, to goodness public servant who's just doing their job, kung mawala na yun sa inyo, mag-iba na ang impression ng tao sa inyo. So, yung media kasi, the way na magtatanong sila sa media, gusto talaga lang ipalabas na kailangan talagang humarap si VP Sara. Yun nga, hindi kailangan humarap si VP Sara. Ang gusto nila ipalabas na bakit ganyan, si VP Sara masyadong umiiwas daw. Isa rin ang sabi ni Santiago, harapin mo harap naman ang kaso. Sinasagot nga kayo Tapos, yung nangyari sa Congress, hindi daw yung naharap. Nagpunta doon si Sara, hindi naman nyo tinatanong. 6 na oras siya nakaupo doon, hindi nyo tinatanong. Ang alibay ninyo, pinatawag kayo ni Martin Romualdez. Bakit? Kasi once na iti-take up doon, tina-timing lang yun na hindi mag-appear si VP Sara. Kasi baka i-mention niya yung regarding sa envelope na galing kay Lisa Aranita. On that moment, kaya alam niyo na papunta yung statements doon, yung investigation noon ng hearing, kaya tinerminate ninyo. Then ngayon magsasalita kayo na dapat harapin nyo. Humarap na nga sa inyo Di ba? Di nga kayo makapalag sa mga questions ni VP Sara regarding doon sa sino ang nag-appoint ng mga undersecretaries. Hindi alam ni Joel Chua kung naalala ninyo. Di ba? So, hindi nyo kayang ipalabas na hindi kayo naharap ni VP Sara. Yung dito sa regards naman dito sa it is not the right forum. It is not the right venue na he will give his counter affidavit or statement. So, ganun lang yun. Daan natin sa batas kasi gusto na rin nyo ipasa sa in the legal forum. So, sasagutin kayo legally. Masyado kayo nagmamadali na meron naman way na the right way na gagawin. So, hindi na ninyo pwede shortcut yan. Regarding naman dito sa case ni Franz Castro, sigway lang tayo dito. So, we have discussed already, we talked about already the NBI press conference of the director. Yung sinampa naman ng mga IPs, indigenous people, yung Mangyan, Manubo yata. Manubo. Oh, Davao. Sina ah, yung head nila si Kausing. Oh, na regarding nga doon sa mga kidnapping na ginawa ni Franz Castro way back 2018. And how many years ago na yon? And the RTC have made already a decision convicting here in by yung case na what they call this, child abuse. Oh, yun si Attorney Torion was the one who's nag-file ng case. So, kung titingnan natin, bakit inaalaw ninyo na mag-perform his duty as congressman, sina Martin Romualdez? Bakit inaalaw yan si Castro? Nasa tagal na ng panahon na nakonvict yan. Dapat wala na yan dyan. Dapat sino bang ethics committee? Ba't hindi yan inaksyonan noon pa? Maghantay pa sila ng reklamo galing sa labas ng mga IPs. So makita mo, siya pa naghihid, siya pa ang nag-ano ng impeachment, siya pa nag-contempt ng mga inosenteng mga staff ni BP Inday. So saan na yung, kung sabihin mo maayos yung kongreso, anong ginawa ninyo? Samantala sila Tibis, sila ni may mga kaso na hindi pa naman proven din. Wala pang kaso sa korte, wala pang decision. Tinatanggal na ninyo. Oh. Sina Bibot Alvarez, sana ang daming operasyon na ginawa nyo sa mga kasama nyo na hindi pabor sa inyo. Recently, si Congressman Marcolita, anong ginawa nyo kay Congressman Marcolita? But it seems na yung ginagawa nyo nakakatulong tuloy sa candidacy ni Congressman Marcolita na talagang ngayon parang isa siya sa mga front runner dito sa senatorial elections ngayong 2025 dahil sa sobrang yung ginawa na operation kay Congressman Marcolita. So, dapat inaksyonan na yan matagal ng panahon. Sobra na yan convicted, nagpe-preside pa, nandyan pa siya pa nagko-contempt. So, anong klaseng kongreso ang meron tayo? So, this is very, shall we say, nakakahiya, nakakaawa ng sitwasyon ng bansa natin. Mga ganyang practices na ginawa ng Kongreso. Sana naman mag-prosper yung reklamo na yan, pero I doubt with the way congressmen are acting today in their hearings. I don't know kung maka-persuade ba yan. Siguro tanggapin lang nila yung reklamo, but they will not act on it. Hindi yan na-actionan, sigurado yan. Kasi talagang determined si Martin na makipag-alyansa sa mga komunista na terorista, sa totoo lang. So, I don't know kung saan hahantong ito, yung mga itong bagay. But the way things are going, parang something na mangyayari na will favor doon sa mga citizens ng bansa na ito. We will see on the next year, kasi the impeachment will go on up to the next year. Ngayon, malapit na yung adjournment ng hearing nila sa Congress. So, I think next year magsa-start na sila. Walang balita doon sa signatures na linalakad ni Raul Manuel. They are secretly doing that. Gusto nila mabuo yung 106 signatures. Siguro before the end of this year, para next year may sampa na nila yan sa Kongreso. Kung hindi pwedeng isampa kahit na nag-resist sila. baka i-receive din niya ng Kongreso. Kaya ang malaking balita na hantay natin, kung mabuo ba nila yung 106. Pero sa tingin ko, with the things going on and the lots of billions of funds changing hands, changing pockets, I'm not very apprehensive na hindi yan matuloy ang impeachment na yan. The game will be in the Senate at meron naman tayong laban sa Senate. Hopefully, kahit na billions are umuulan ng billions sa government natin, lalo na sa Senado at sa Kongreso, sana hindi magiging negative ang resulta. So, with this, I hope I have given you some information at sana sa sunod na broadcast natin, we can discuss more about really relevant issues na we are witnessing right now sa paligid natin and in our country. So, thank you for coming over. I hope you will subscribe. Paisa-isa lang subscription. That's okay with me. Then, try to share it with your friends and like this. If you like, paki-like na lang sa video na to. And I will say good afternoon sa ating lahat. And I hope, God willing, we will be seeing each other again in my next broadcast. And thank you for coming over.